right, man. So it's official. Brian Daboll is out as the head coach of the New York Giants. Which, I mean, can't say I didn't see that coming, but I do think it's a little strange that it came in the middle of the season. But after you blow, what, two fourth quarter leads in 3 weeks? Let's see. It's been more than that. I'll give him a little grace. It's been 4 weeks, but still. You blow the lead to the Bears and you blow the lead historically to the Broncos. I don't know what you expect whenever you call yourself like this, or the community calls you a kind of a quarterback guru. And I think Jackson Dart looks like a guy. He looks like he has potential to be a good quarterback in this league. I think they got the pick right. Getting him at the end of the first round, I think, is kind of looking like a steal right now because I think there's a lot of potential when you watch him play, Scatterby play. I think his numbers haven't been the greatest over the last few weeks, but how much of that can you really blame on the rookie whenever that Giants O-line historically hasn't been good the last few years? And then his best option in Malik Neighbors goes out, and that hurt a lot because him and Neighbors looked like they had a really good connection, and then he's just gone for the whole year, ACL, So you hate to see that for the young guy, but Wan'Dale Robinson, Slayton, Theo Johnson, who seems to be a favorite, they're all still competing and showing that they can be a competitive team, but they can't close out these games, and that really falls on the head coach. 24-20, Bears come back and win, get another big win for them. I think that's 5 straight for the Bears. They say that he's some kind of builds these quarterbacks because of what happened with Josh Allen, but man, that was a long time ago. And if you look at his numbers, we're going to take away the 9 games. He barely played any of those first 2. His 7 games started, though. He's got a 63% completion rating, 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Pretty good numbers for a rookie. We'll take that. He's getting sacked, though, at kind of an alarming rate for me. 21 sacks in 7 starts. That's 3 sacks a game. If you add the extra 2 games and then the other 7, that would be 48 off the top of my head, and that's nearing the highest part of the league in sacks, and about 10% almost of his dropbacks. He's getting sacked, and like I said, that O-line historically these last few years hasn't been good, but all this is always going to get blamed on the head coach, man. And I commend Dart for only having 3 fumbles, but 7 touchdowns is a good number for rushing, but he's kind of out there scrambling for his life, and he doesn't have really a safety valve other than Theo Johnson out there right now that's consistent enough to actually keep throwing the ball off to. I do think Brian Daboll is a really good OC. I do think he is good at developing quarterbacks, but I don't think he's a great head football coach. He was 20-40-1. I think the players liked him, but I don't think they rallied enough around him. I hate it for him because I do think he is a good football mind. Like I said, I think this man will be an OC somewhere next year if he wants to be. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, and let me tell you, if I have Brian Daboll as my play caller next year instead of Kevin Stefanski, sign me up for the experience, just not as the head coach. Would love him as the OC. If it came down to Daboll or Jim Schwartz, give me Jim Schwartz as the head coach next year. But that's how I feel about the Daboll fire. Let's go on to my Cleveland Browns. We're going to start with the record. 2-7. 2-7. We are 4th place and currently one of the most disappointing divisions in football. The Steelers, I think we all saw last night after that loss to the Chargers, are not a for real championship contender right now, even though some of us who've been watching football a long time would have liked to see Rodgers get that like fairy tale kind of send off, but it ain't happening. He looked stiff back there last night. He really did. The offensive line, it seems like, is getting him enough time to get some of these throws out, but the problem is there's nobody making separation. DK Metcalf's averaging like 36, 37 yards a game, and it's just not enough. He throws to him on that fourth down in the end zone. I would guarantee it. Aaron, over the years, only throws the ball in big moments to receivers he trusts. That ball was going to DK Metcalf before the play was called. Guarantee it. He would have checked into it. Something. That ball was going to DK Metcalf from the moment the fourth down was made official. I guarantee you that. It didn't matter. Double coverage, triple coverage, doesn't matter. It was going to DK on the fade route. And, the cornerback and the safety made a really good duo play, and good game for the Chargers, man. Good game for the Chargers. The Ravens, I think, do come back and win this division. 3 straight. Defense looks like it's getting their head on their shoulders again and out of somewhere else. The Bengals, your offense is awesome, man. Joe Cool, he looked great over there. Can't tell me receivers don't matter, but I just don't think that defense is good enough. If you would have won those last 2 weeks against the Jets and the Bears, man, you would have been sitting at 5-3, would have been, or 5-4 would have been much better odds. But even if Joe Burrow comes back now, I think it's too late for the Bengals this year, man. I hope not. I would love to see Joe Burrow in the playoffs, but the AFC, man, if you really look at the landscape of it, super tight right now. Broncos, 7 straight. Patriots, 7 straight. I think those are tied for the 2 biggest streaks in the NFL right now. Here, we can see. Yeah, tied for the biggest streaks. This division, we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, back to our regular scheduled programming. I think the Patriots are winning the division because of what we saw from the Bills yesterday. Lost me some money. Let me tell you, the Bills do not have a weapon on the perimeter that scares teams. Keon Coleman can't consistently beat double coverage. Single coverage. He can't consistently beat man coverage. And even when he does, he doesn't get enough targets to even generate any momentum. I just don't think Khalil Shakir, he's great at checkdowns and things underneath, but he's not a deep threat. When Kincaid went out yesterday, I think everybody realized, that game was over. Unless Josh has a Superman game, and honestly at this point, unless James Cook does too, if he's not the Robin to his Batman in that game, they're just done for the game because the defense without Ed Oliver especially is just not potent enough to stop teams. But yeah, I'm giving the Patriots that division. I think the Bills get in on a wild card, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that they win the division. The Dolphins, good wins against Atlanta and the Bills over the last 2 of the last 3 weeks. Mike McDaniel's trying to scheme something together, but it's too late for Miami. Definitely looking like there's going to be a coaching change there. I think, 2 wins for the Jets after trading away their 2 best defensive players. Still beats my Browns. Anyway, I think if they rattle off a few more wins, maybe get to like 5-6-11. I think Aaron Glenn could keep his job, which I think he should. I think he deserves another year. This is my opinion, though. I think Justin Fields is another matter entirely. The Steelers, it's going to be interesting to me to see if they make the playoffs. They're only favored in 3 of their next 8 games. And if you really look at it, I think the Ravens come back here, guys. I think they win the division. I think the Bengals are a team that can upset some people, but I don't think that they win the division. My Browns, will be in the top of the draft. Colts, I think, pulled the division out, even though I think they've come back to earth quite a bit over the last couple weeks, even though they lose 2 weeks ago, and then last week, overseas game, things are weird. I think they win the division pretty comfortably. Jags, we saw them versus Dougie Davis-Mills this week. Too inconsistent on the road. Texans, Texans could pull out second place in the division. I could see that being a possibility. In fact, I'd put a stamp on it that when CJ comes back, it looks like they're figuring some things out. I would say they probably do. But, to be determined. To be determined. And, what's up, Watt Kelsey? I just saw you in here. I appreciate you jumping in. Speaking enchantment. I appreciate it. I think the Texans could snag the last wild card. Titans, you know what? What's the number one pick back-to-back years? Hope not. Give it to my Browns at this point. Broncos, 8-2, man. You can't not be in the playoffs. They're going to the playoffs. I don't think that Bo Nix is performing at a high enough level to win very much in the playoffs. Maybe the wild card round. But, yeah, Broncos are winning that. Maybe not winning the division, but they're making the playoffs. Chargers, 7-3. They impressed me yesterday. 5 sacks given up. They're out so many linemen. Slater and Alt gone. I could see a world where they could lose a lot, but then you see them just absolutely dominate the Steelers from start to finish in that game. And it's like, man, what do you do? Titans comeback will go hard. Brother, the Titans need to go back to the drawing board. That's where they need to go. Like, go somewhere else. That it's rough out there for the Titans, man. And I don't know, dude. I can't see a world where they make a comeback. I really can't. Well, I mean, there's not going to be a world where they make a comeback this season, but anyway, I think the Broncos do definitely make the playoffs. Chargers, I think, are making the playoffs, even though they're so out of linemen. Chiefs are so hot and cold this season, but I'm going to say they are going to get in because of the greatness that is Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice, Chris Jones. They'll get in. The Raiders are interesting. The Raiders are so bad when I expected them to at least be decent. I don't think you can fire a Hall of Fame coach like Pete Carroll after 1 year. But Chip Kelly, on the other hand, Cabo in 3. That's rough. I don't see it. And now to the conversation that's everywhere. Time to make Lunch Tray the coach. Dude, get him in the game. Like, it's rough out there for him. Might actually help him. So let's look at some performances, right? Let's look at Dylan Gabriel's performances. First start, Minnesota. It was a competitive game. Minnesota came back and beat us. Numbers not too bad. 57.6%, 190 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 sacks. Not a very mobile guy, even though last week against the Jets really did display some mobility. But that O-line or D-line for the Jets has been absolutely gutted since they traded away Quinyon Williams. I would say week versus the Steelers was probably his best game, as far as efficiency in the pocket. Even though his numbers aren't the best, he did make some plays that, I'm lying. I'm talking out of my ass. 29 for 52 is awful. I'm trying to make it sound good. It's awful. 221. He's averaging 4.3 per completion off that. It's just not good. It's not good. 6 sacks. Against the Dolphins, special teams and the defense won that game. That's why it was a blowout, 31-6. 72.2% completion rating, best for his young season. Still checking down a ton, 6.4 yards average. You go to the next game versus the Patriots. It was hard to watch. It was hard to be a fan of. 60% completion off checkdowns. Show me the numbers for how many of those were plus 10 yards, and I guarantee you it's probably more like 3 for 3 for 12, if I'm being generous. 4.5 yard average, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Only 2 picks he has all season, but you got to throw the ball downfield to get picks usually. So, and by downfield, I mean more than 7 yards. And then this week versus the Jets in one of the most abysmal games I've seen, get you the all-electric Cadillac Escalade. Dude, get me that Escalade and put me in the back of it and make me watch the Jets game on repeat. And I'll just think about like all the things I've went wrong for my Browns this year. All the things that went wrong. That'd be a good way for me to let out some emotion. But we lost 27-20 to the Jets after trading away their 2 best players. Bro, it ain't that deep. Oh, dude, we lost to the Jets after they traded away their 2 perennial Pro Bowl defensive players. Only good defensive players, other than maybe Quinyon Williams' brother, Quincy Williams. But, that's not the point. Garrett Wilson didn't have a catch. Denzel Ward had straps on him. Justin Fields went for 62 yards. And you allowed a kickoff return for a touchdown, a punt return for a touchdown. Your quarterback can't throw over 53.1%. He gets sacked 6 times against a team that lost their best pass rusher other than Jermaine Johnson. And you just, nothing changes. You're going to keep Gabriel in there. I think it's time to give Shedeur the opportunity. I don't know why. What do you have to lose? Because Gabriel, you can look at the numbers. He's not the guy. He's not the guy. He has started 5 games, and he has been sacked 17 times. He has 2 picks because he won't throw the ball downfield. If he did, it would not be good. He threw 1 ball about 30 yards for a touchdown yesterday to Jerry Jeudy, and it looked like that's all his arm had to give. Jerry Jeudy's numbers this year are atrocious, and it is because bad quarterback production. Jerry Jeudy is a good receiver. Doesn't deserve all that. It's been hard to watch, man. It's been hard to watch. My feelings on the matter is it's time to start Shedeur Sanders. I know, he Gabriel was a 3rd-round pick. Sanders was a 5th. A lot of controversy around Shedeur. You know what? Maybe he doesn't do any better. But you got to find something out. You got 2 first-round picks next year. One of these guys, for this to actually work out successfully, needed to be the guy so that you could use your 2 firsts next year to get another wide receiver, to get another lineman, to get another defensive rusher, because Myles Garrett ain't going to be happy if we keep losing. There's things you need. And a lot of the picks in this draft are coming to fruition, but the quarterback position is the most important one, and it is not. And we have an aging O-line who needs to be utilized now rather than later. So if Sanders and Gabriel aren't the answer, I please beg the Browns, if Sanders isn't the answer, if Gabriel isn't the answer, trade for a veteran quarterback that is actually good. I think Kyler Murray potentially could be that answer for the short term. And then use your 1st-round picks to grab players that could build this organization forward. Don't try to shoot for 3rd or 2nd in the division next year. Do what you can to make it work now. Kick the can down the road if you have to on the quarterback position. You have to get the rest of the team built up before you draft another young guy and just throw him in there. Personal opinion, I think if they had probably one more consistent tackle on offense, maybe a little bit better production from the center position, just to not allow the immediate penetration. And another receiver, man, because to me, we got Glizzly. Oh my gosh, highlighted message is crazy in the chat. But if we had just one more productive piece at receiver, which I don't know, I like the potential of Isaiah Bond in the slot. I don't know if that's definitely not gonna be enough this year, but I could see it next year. Isaiah Bond in the slot being a guy for you. Cedric Tillman, I'm kind of out on at this point, man. It being a starting receiver. Jerry Jeudy, I think, is an awesome receiver. I think he's a great 2, and I think he's a pretty good first. But if we ever want the team to go further than it is now, I think there really has to be a wide receiver drafted, traded for, signed that can take that wide receiver 1 role, get Jeudy at the 2, let Quinshon Judkins eat at a running back, keep improving your offensive line, and you got to get a quarterback in there that can be consistent if it's not going to be Gabriel, which it isn't, or if it's not going to be Shador, which got to wait and see. But that's my take on the Browns, and I'm tired of talking myself to sleep about it because I'm so tired of watching those games right now. It's abysmal to watch. Anyway, looking at the NFC, a lot more parity in the NFC, man. We got Seattle and the Rams, who 4 games straight, they both look on fire. I think Mac Jones has been playing really well for the 49ers. I think all 3 of those teams get into the playoffs. Cardinals have been surprising people. I don't think they get in the playoffs. Blue blowfish belling bubbles below Belgian. That was something. But the chat's going wild over here, guys. But the Cardinals have been surprising people that they're not going to be anything this year, and Kyler Murray's getting traded or cut in this offseason. I would guarantee it. The Saints, next. Falcons, next. Panthers, dude, there's things the Panthers do that it look L ads. I'm sorry. There's things the Panthers do that actually surprises me, but they can't be consistent enough. I think Dave Canales some weeks looks like he schemed something up really good, and then some weeks it looks like the offense is just inept and has no idea. Bryce Young forgot he was a quarterback. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe in this particular year, I don't think they get in, but who knows? Maybe next year. Panthers fans, I just don't think it's going to be this year for you. Only team getting in the NFC South, I think, is going to be Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know they lost yesterday. I know they're hurt at receiver. I like Baker. I think they get in. And I think they win the division. I like J.J. McCarthy's potential. Sam Darnold kind of looks like they let one go there. But I think they got something in J.J. I just think they're also in the best division in the NFC. I don't see them making the playoffs this year, but they're a competitive team, and at the end of the season, it's not a team I would want to be playing. The Bears, I think the Bears get in. I think they have the momentum right now. They've only won 2 straight. I thought they had a bigger winning streak than that, but I think Caleb finally looks like he's coming around. I think Ben Johnson's a great head coach. I think he's a great play caller. The Lions look good yesterday, man. The Lions look really good. I think the Lions could retake first in this division. As a matter of fact, I'd put a stamp on it. I think they will take first in this division. I really like the Lions to take over the NFC North. The Packers, Jordan Love's consistency is really their biggest issue. I think their other issue is they have a lot of good receivers, but with losing Tucker Kraft for the rest of the year, I don't think they have that great guy, that great receiver you really need to put a stamp on your team. I don't think the Packers have that without Tucker Kraft. I think Tucker Kraft's been the biggest part of setting up their big plays this season, and without him, I just don't think that offenses can operate as well. I think it leads to more Jordan Love mistakes, and I just don't think they could win the division over the Lions now. The Giants, we already talked about Daboll getting fired today. Next. Commanders, man, 5 straight losses is diabolical for a team that was in the NFC Championship game last year. Jaden Daniels just can't seem to stay healthy, even though there was no reason he should have been in that game, down what they were. 2 weeks ago, but they're not making it this year. I don't see them going on a run like that. I think they get the Chiefs next week too. That it's just not happening. Cowboys, man, you got a good trade to me for the future in Quinyon Williams. I think you gave up a little too much. You're not making the playoffs this year. I'm sorry. I can't see it. I can't see it. And the Eagles, they're winning the division, and I think they're probably going to win. They're going to make it, I think, to the NFC Championship. I'll say that. I think if the cards fall this way, Seahawks, Eagles, NFC Championship game. Or the Rams. Any of those three teams could be in it. But right now, I would say Eagles win the division, Lions win the division, Bucks win the division, Seahawks win the division, Rams first wild card spot, Packers second wild card spot, 49ers third wild card spot. It could be interesting, though. Like, the Bears, it could be interesting. 49ers, Bears, Panthers are right there, but I just think these are better teams. And then back over here to the AFC, I think the Ravens win the division. I think the Patriots win the division. I think the Colts win the division. I'm going to say the Broncos win the division because of their record. And I think the Chiefs are too inconsistent. And I think the Chargers are too banged up on offense to really keep consistent. But Jay Herbert going to roll past. I'm all in on William Perry. You're killing me. But I do think that both of these teams will make it. And that leaves one wild card spot. That's where it gets interesting. Because I know these two teams make it. So, if the Chiefs and the Chargers were to make it, that means the Jags miss, the Texans miss, the Steelers miss, the Bengals miss. It's going to be interesting. I think my perfect scenario is they get the first wild card, they get the second wild card, but we'll really see what it looks like with the Chargers. The Jaguars, I just don't think can do it. And the Steelers, I would like to see Rodgers make the playoffs one more time. I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can do it, man. I really don't. What up, man? Welcome, man. Appreciate you joining up. I'm calling it now. Bills go back to back. Bills go back to the bowl and lose. I mean, I could see it if they had a better offensive explosive weapon. My biggest problem with them is that they just don't have a weapon, it feels like, that can take the top off of a defense. And I just don't think that that's going to translate to winning because, I mean, if we look at it like this, they'll be the first wild card, so they'll play the fourth place team. I think the Patriots win. I think the Patriots probably win the AFC. I think they're that good. So they would play the next wild card, which if everything goes just like I said it would, they'll either play the Steelers or the Chargers or the Chiefs. If it's Bills, Chiefs round one, coin flip, but I'm going to take the team that's beat them 3 times, 4 times in the playoffs now consistently. Chargers, I think the Bills could beat the Chargers. I think they would beat the Chargers, and I think they would beat the Broncos. But the Chiefs, the Ravens, even the Steelers, like, with their ineptitude on defense, I think they could have success against the Bills. The Bills this season, they really scare me. Josh Allen can 1v11s only. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem with him, man. Just nobody causes separation enough really for Josh Allen. He's just kind of alone out there, which, I mean, I hate it for him because I like Josh Allen, man. I think he's a good player. One follower to hey, whoever followed, I appreciate the follow, my man. I don't have my. Somebody sent something. I appreciate it. Usually I have my phone pulled up so I can have the notifications for whenever somebody does that as well. I didn't have my phone. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Seven. We're at 3 subs? I didn't even know. I didn't even know. But alright, I think that's going to be it for football talk right now. I'm about to hop on some games though, and I'm going to hop back on stream. So give me a couple of minutes and we'll be back on here. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Whisper, thank you for popping in. Kelsey, thank you for popping in the chat. If y'all liked it, drop a follow. This video will go on YouTube as well as parts on TikTok as well. Have a great rest of your day, and I will be back streaming soon with some games. Not sure which game yet, but we'll figure it out.